So instead of chasing clients, the smart law firms, well, they're using Google's local search results to get clients chasing them. I used this simple strategy to turn my wife's failing business around. Within just 60 days, we were suddenly outranking firms 10 times our size, and we broke through the 100K barrier for the very first time. But here's the catch. You need to optimize your business listing, or you'll effectively be invisible to those who need you most and who want your services and who are ready to pay today. So in this video, I'm going to walk you through the 3-step roadmap that every law firm needs to master, so you can turn your business into a client-generating machine. So step 1 is winning. You might think that bigger business always win, but honestly, it's just not true. And I'm going to show you exactly which local SEO levers to pull, from your Google business profile to local backlinks that allow small firms to compete and often beat their bigger rivals. Which takes us on to step number 2, Google's local SEO playbook. The rules that Google actually follows, from rankings to local map placements. Know them and you can play the game like a pro. But don't proceed until you learn step number 3, the fatal mistakes. Because there's 3 ranking killers that many law firms fall victim to, and I'll show you exactly how to get around them. Now, by the end, you'll have a clear roadmap you can follow to win more clients without having to spend money on adverts or a huge amount of time on social media, and by simply showing up where your clients are already searching. All right, let's get into it. So take a look at these 3 different law firms. Here you've got Child Custody Lawyer Angel with no reviews. And here's Connaught Law. They've got 699 reviews with an average star review rating of 4.8. And finally, Angel Law with 131 reviews and a 4.6 star rating. So which of these 3 do you think should be ranking number 1 on Google? Well, I can tell you that for my search request, Child Custody Lawyer Angel was ranking highest. And that seems just crazy, right? Now, to understand why, we need to understand how Google works. Because it's basically a giant robot analyzing millions of websites every single day. But it's not reading word for word like you or I would. Instead, like Eve, it's looking for very specific things called ranking indicators or ranking factors. If it doesn't find them, you don't show up in the ranking list. Which of course begs the question, what are these ranking factors? Well, reviews are one, but as you saw, that alone isn't enough. So I'm going to take you through the 7 most powerful ranking factors. But before we get into that, it's important to understand the difference between push marketing and magnetic marketing, because push marketing is what most law firms do. So let's start off with the biggest example, social media. So social media in the good old days, just a few short years ago really, was all about sharing content and sharing messages with friends. But that all changed when TikTok came along with their AI generated algorithm that prioritized content over messages from people you know. And in no time at all the other platforms followed suit. So, put it simply, there is no social media anymore. There's just media. And that media needs to be visual. Now, that's okay if you're a chef or a personal trainer or a travel blogger whose business is intrinsically visual. But this is why social media is such a dead end for so many family law firms. Now, if that wasn't bad enough, take a look at the engagement rates. In 2016, a Facebook message had a 16% engagement rate. Now, it's just 1.2%. Now, I've actually done a full video on this and go into some detail. So if that's of interest to you, check out this video. I'll put a link in the description for you. Now, I've used pay-per-click ads successfully for many different business types. But for divorce services, it's a bit of a trap. And it cost me $7,000 to learn this the hard way. So there's 3 key things I think you need to know. Number one is the high cost per click. They are among the highest and most expensive in the legal pay-per-click field. Some firms are spending over $50 per click, and that makes it very hard to be cost effective. Number two, low conversion rates. Choosing a divorce lawyer isn't a spontaneous purchase. It isn't like buying a bag. With a bag, you can see exactly what it is. It's tangible. You know what you're getting. That's just not true with legal services. So it's probably not a big surprise that conversion rates in this industry are pretty low from ads. And number three, marketing restrictions. Advertising rules in the UK, the US, and many countries are very tight around the area of divorce. Trust me, I know. I once spent $7,000 with this guy to set up video ads for divorce services, only to find out that all our ads were blocked due to the subject matter. And I don't want you to make that same mistake, because Facebook, Google, and many other ad platforms all have policies that do not allow divorce-related content. And that's the trap. You can easily waste thousands before realizing the system is stacked against you. So you actually need to zoom out for a second, because both social media and pay-per-click are push marketing. They're pushing messages onto people and that magnetic marketing. Now the alternative is magnetic marketing, and it's different. It waits for people to come to you, like local SEO. So local SEO, here's some of their headline numbers. 3.9 billion local searches every day. And 76% of local searches results in a visit within 24 hours. And 28% of those visits turns into a paying client. That's why local SEO isn't just another tactic, it's the number one growth lever in family law right now. So whilst your competitors are spending thousands on pay-per-click ads, you could be getting those same clients for free, day after day, month after month, year after year. But here's the problem. Most family law firms are completely invisible when it comes to local SEO. They either don't even know what it is, or they're doing it all wrong. But that's actually great news for you, because the local SEO industry is projected to quadruple by 2030. And voice search is growing at 19.2% year on year. And 97% of people research local businesses online before making contact. Now my point here is you can actually future-proof your business if you decide to jump on this right now. Now I learned this the hard way when I took over my wife's failing divorce coaching business. Now she was great at what she did, but she was just losing money every month. And on the surface, she was doing everything right. She even had a PR firm. She got coverage on the BBC, on Sky News. She's been featured in national newspapers. She spent thousands on pay-per-click ads, running live events, posting on social media every day, but nothing was moving the dial. So after years of trying, she asked me to take over. And I made two big changes. We created a new offer, divorce retreats, and we used SEO to bring clients to us. Now in month 2, we broke even for the very first time, and by month 3, we were finally in profit, and you can imagine the relief. A few short months later, we were actually running retreats in America, UK, Thailand, South Africa, and New Zealand. Now after we got divorced, and yes, I'm totally aware of the irony, I of course exited that business, but last time I checked, that business was doing fine, all because of SEO. And I've been basically obsessed and been doing SEO ever since. You see, this is what I realized. You can't find a divorce coach or a divorce lawyer in your local shopping mall or on Amazon or in the supermarket. So your prospects need to search for you online. So that's where you need to be. I mean, it's obvious, right? Now, competing globally is pretty tough, but you don't need to compete globally if you're serving locally. And just so it's clear, the difference between kind of normal, traditional search engine optimization And local SEO is the local intent of the inquiry. So that includes any searches inside Google Maps. That includes explicit locations like family lawyer in Manchester, or an implicit category like family lawyer. Google will assume you mean nearby, or with a location phrase like solicitor near me. And sneakily, Google will even use things like your device, your Wi-Fi connectivity, even your IP settings to decide if to show you local SEO results. Now, only businesses who've created or claimed their Google business profile are displayed here at the very top of the search results. So if your Google business profile isn't yet set up, then just follow the step-by-step instructions in this video here, and I'll put a link in the description for you. Now, here's the trick to winning at local SEO. You've got to treat it like a big game of Monopoly, because it's the businesses that own the best assets that win the game. And not all assets are equal. Invest time and money into the wrong ones, and not only might it not improve your ranking, and it can actually cause your business harm, or if you do it wrong, it could even get you banned. So I'm going to count down from 7 to 1, and I think you'll be surprised which one makes the biggest difference. So here we go. Number 7, local backlinks that actually matter. Now, local backlinks, as you probably know, in the world of SEO is a big deal. But with local SEO, it works a bit differently, because Google prioritizes links from local sources because they show you actually have a connection to the local area. So here's 3 tips. Number 1, sponsorship. Go to Google, search for your city plus sponsor. Look for local sponsorship opportunities. You know, maybe youth sports, charity events, community organizations, things like that. Number 2, donors. Again, search for your city plus listed donors. Find non-profits that acknowledge donors with website links who are happy to link back to your website. And number 3, blogs. Search for your city plus blogger or podcast. Find local content creators who might feature businesses like yours. If you can secure just a handful of high quality local backlinks, it can make the world of difference to your business and your ranking. Which brings me to number 6, a mobile website, a lightning fast mobile optimized website. Because over 60% of searches are now done on mobile devices. And here's the wake up call. 9% of your visitors will leave your website if it doesn't load within 2 seconds. And a staggering 38% will leave if it's not loaded within 5 seconds. Now, Google knows this, and that's why they prioritize mobile-friendly websites. So literally, every second counts. Which brings me to number 5, strategic Google reviews. Now, 63.6% of potential clients check Google reviews before contacting a law firm. And firms with great reviews see a 270% boost in conversions. But I know it's hard to get reviews in your niche. So here's what you do. Don't wait until a case is over before asking for the review. You've got to ask during the case. Every time there's a moment of success, a small win, or just a feeling of happiness, that's when you ask. Make it part of your company and business DNA. Train your staff to say things like, my performance in this firm is partly based on my client reviews. So if you were satisfied with how I handled your call today, would you please leave me a quick review? It would mean the world to me. Now, the best firms make this a part of their DNA, a part of their ongoing process. It's not just a roll of the dice. And by the way, this is all feeling a bit overwhelming. I get it. There's a lot to take on, but don't worry. That's exactly why we offer a free local SEO audit service. But I'll talk a little bit more about that later on. Which brings me to number 4, Google business profile content. Now, the last thing that Google wants to do is send anyone who's searching on Google to an out-of-date business or service provider. So Google will prioritize businesses with recent posts that show that they are live and active. So whilst posts may be visible for 6 months, actually their ranking factor deteriorates after about 7 days. So you should be posting every single week. And include real relevant photographs anywhere you can. Now these don't have to look beautiful or look perfect. They just need to be current and relevant. But don't worry, it's not as scary as it sounds. In fact, I've got a process to use ChatGPT to craft all of these and the strategy for how to use them. So just check out this video for more information and I'll put a link in the description for you. Okay, so we've got just 3 more to go. What one do you think is going to be number 1? So number 3 is bulletproof NAP consistency. Now, with over 2,000 new Google business profiles being created every day, Google simply can't validate each of these manually. So they rely on external citations to verify and check the authenticity of your business. And this is where your NAP comes in. Your name, address, and phone number need to be listed consistently across all of those directories and as many as possible. But here's the catch. Even a small formatting difference can break those citations and make them worthless. So if your Google listing says 123 Main Street like this, but your website says 123 Main Street like this, well, that could be a problem. And whilst Google is getting better at this, it's just not worth taking the risk. So at the very least, create a master copy of your NAP and copy and paste it into your directories to make sure it's pixel perfect across every one of them. But better yet, use tools like SEMrush that automatically sync your information across over 70 online databases. Which brings us to our penultimate ranking factor. Number 2, laser-focused business categories. Your Google business profile allows for just one primary category. But with over 4,000 to choose from, it can be overwhelming. And a lot of businesses just find the first kind of relevant one that seems related to what they do and stick with it. Well, that's a big mistake. So the thing is, you really just stop thinking of this like a business category and start to think of this like a keyword search term, because that's how Google uses it. So if you set up your business under family law attorney, everybody's searching for divorce lawyer, well, you're going to get totally ignored, whilst your rival down the road gets rich. So here's 3 things you can do. Number 1, use an SEO tool like Ahrefs or SEMrush to do keyword research and find what is the most popular search term in your industry. Now expect to pay around $130 a month, but frankly, it's well worth the investment. And number 2 is, well, you can cheat. Check out what your local rivals are doing and take inspiration from them. Now, this isn't a perfect solution, but if they're ranking high, they've probably got this nailed. Or number 3, now this is by far the best option. You actually get a complete local SEO audit completed. But more on this a little bit later in the video. By the way, we've also got 9 secondary categories that you can play with. But don't just fill them up for the sake of it. And I know that's tempting, because choosing irrelevant categories can confuse Google and actually it can confuse your prospects as well. So only select categories that you genuinely provide services for. Which brings us to number 1, a verified Google business profile. Incredibly, 56% of local businesses haven't yet claimed their Google business listing. Now, if that's you, grab it now. It's like owning Mayfair and Park Lane on a Monopoly board. It's the best asset you can have. And keep building on it. Keep adding posts, make sure it's always up to date. And make sure the web page that it links to is an accurate reflection and really a mirror image of your Google business profile. Because any mismatch and your prospect is going to be out there quicker than a dinner party with the ex. But hold on, don't make any moves just yet, because you need to know the 3 common mistakes that could send your business tumbling right off the edge. So I'm going to show you exactly what they are and, more importantly, how to navigate around them. So your local SEO journey stays right on track all the way to the very top. So let's start with deadly mistake number 1. Fake reviews. I get it. Reviews are powerful, and there's an entire black market industry built around trying to game the system. But Google, Yelp, and the other platforms are getting smarter and smarter, and they're cracking down hard on fake reviews. And the penalties, well, they can be brutal. Your pages can be removed from search results, you can get banned from Google entirely, and in some cases, there's even been legal action. So it's just not worth the risk. And that's why you need to play smart, not just play hard. Which brings me to deadly mistake number 2, keyword stuffing your business name. Now, some businesses think they'll boost their rankings if they add a keyword into their business name, like Smith Law Firm changing to Smith Law Firm Divorce Attorney Islington. And to be fair, they're right, and it works. Only problem is, it's against Google's policies. And if you get caught, your entire profile can be suspended or permanently removed. Now, recovery can take months or even years if Google lets you back in at all. So here's the trick. Use a trading name. This is a legitimate business practice. Change your signage throughout to illustrate, if necessary, that this really is the name that the business goes by. Now, obviously that's easier to achieve for some businesses than others. But this one change can make an impact to your rankings probably more than any other one thing that you could do. So for some businesses, it's the right move. Speaking of right moves, here's a bad move that many make. Brings me to deadly mistake number 1. Playing a game you can't possibly win. A lot of law firms rush into local SEO without learning the rules of the game. They start tweaking descriptions, optimizing websites, begging for customer reviews. But here's the problem. If the competition is fundamentally stronger, well, then you're in a fight you can't possibly win. It's like a flyweight walking into a heavyweight bout. And that's why I strongly recommend you start with a local SEO audit. It's not just a checklist of what you should be doing, it's your strategy rulebook. Now, if your audit shows really tough competition in one category, you may need to switch to another category with less competition. Even if there's less traffic there, that might be the better game for you to play. And that's how you give yourself the best chance of ranking in the top 3. And that's where all the clicks happen, and that's where all the clients are waiting for you. And to help get you on your way, at the time of recording, we're actually offering a local SEO audit for free. So check out the description to see if this is currently running. And if it is, grab it whilst you can. What have you got to lose? And remember, it pays to get on the map, literally.